Benue State has been on the spotlight ever since Governor Samuel Ortom left office. And this is because of the bastardization of Governor Samuel Ortom's administration when it comes to infrastructural development and also the killer herdsmen issue. But fast forward to 2 years in the office of Governor Alia, the story remained the same. And now the president visiting Benue State after so much cry from so many people, the governor of the state decided to do a night walk in order to appeal to the conscience of Mr. President that he is actually working.
Governor,
as you can see on your screen, people were seen clearing, the drainages and all the bushes within the state capital. Is the president coming to the state capital or going to the Yalawata where the attack actually happened? This is a madness of the highest order, while because where the issue happened, the president did not even visit. We even saw in the news, if it is true anyway, that he couldn't visit because of bad roads. But we saw the senior pastor of Dunamis in the community. He even donated food and relief materials to the community. Oh, the road was good for him, Abi. Anyway, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi has reacted to the visit of Mr. President to Benue State yesterday, which is actually a shameful visit by Mr. President. As we saw banners that were placed before his visit and during and after, which shows a lack of compassion and that humanness in us.
People died and you're busy, you're interested in doing campaign. Oh God.
But let's look at what Mr. Peter Obi have to say about all of this. According to him on his verified Twitter handle, he said, "What has happened to our compassion as a people? We pleaded that Mr. President should show leadership and visit Benue and Niger State in the spirit of deep national mourning to offer compassion and solidarity to families torn apart by the senseless massacre of over 200 innocent Nigerians in Benue State and flooding that killed similar number in Niger State." But what we saw in Benue visit was, instead of a solemn, reflective visit, a display that would have been more befitting for the commissioning of the reconstructed Enugu-Makurdi Highway, a critical road connecting the south and north Nigeria, which had become impossible for years. The president arrived not in mourning clothes, but in celebratory agbada attire, like it was an occasion for joy. Even more heartbroken is the role of the state. Rather than being in mourning mode and weeping, declared a public holiday, not for reflection nor prayers, but to organize a fanfare. Schools were shut down. Children who should be mourning their slaughtered classmates and parents were instead lined up under the rain, rehearsing to sing and dance for Mr. President. In what kind of country does this happen? We have tragically arrived at a point where condolence visits have become a carnival, a time that should be marked by silence and solemnity is now polluted by banners. Precious Nigerians' lives have been lost, yet we are clapping, singing and organizing processes as though there was a campaign rally. This is not how any compassionate nation behaves. The energy, resources and logistics poured into the charade could have gone into food supply, temporary shelters, medical aid, school support and trauma counseling for grieving families. Instead, we choose optic over empathy. Look elsewhere. When Mr. President of South Africa, Ramaphosa, visited Malta after the flooding in South Africa, there was no drums, no stage crowd, no related chairs, just presence, silence and action. When Prime Minister Modi went to the site of the crash, no one lined up to welcome him. He came, he mourned, he acted. That is what leadership looks like. In moments of pain, we must ask ourselves, what kind of people have we become? And all of this culture of impunity, we are not at war, yet our nation is bleeding. And we are clapping. It is not only insensitive, it is dangerous. Let us not forget, there were human beings, children, mothers, fathers, whose blood cries out for justice. When every sad incident like this turned to campaign or festival, our nation losing its soul. A new Nigeria is possible. Pure. May the soul of the departed rest in perfect peace. But how can they rest in peace when people died but politicians are celebrating on their graves? Can you imagine? The speech by the Tortiv, which you have watched in the previous video, if you have not watched it, please check it out, was truly speaking to Mr. President. I have said that severally, that Mr. President will never, or even Nigerian politicians will never visit anywhere that something happened that concerns the people. Like I said in my other previous video, which you can find here, the president on Democracy Day went to the National Assembly to address them, because these are the people who are backing his mandate and standing on his mandate, not the general public, not the 200 million Nigerians. According to the Independent National Electoral Commission, after 2023 general election, a whopping 8 to 9 million votes was allocated to Mr. President, while 6.7 million votes, if I can get my facts correct, was allocated to Peter Obi. So, an article as well. So, out of 8 to 9 million people that voted for you, allegedly, this is what you are doing as a president to them. In Benue State, the president got above 200,000 votes. Okay, out of these 200,000 votes, you won't tell me that in these 200 people that lost their life, 1 or 5 or 10% out of this population did not vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2023 general election. And Tinubu did not deem it fit to go to the scene of. This is the reason why Lamechi said that he saw the issues of capacity. Hence, he told Mr. President that he was not going to vote him or work for him in 2023. And this is the reason why we have been saying somebody who is not mentally and physically fit should not run for the presidency. Why? Issues like this were supposed to be at the forefront. Let's not forget that Olusegun Obasanjo, as far back in his first term, was in Lagos. Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State when the bombing happened. Was it not the Ikeja bombing? When it happened, Obasanjo one day, he stood on top of a vehicle and was trying to address the crowd and to assure them that this will not happen again. Did it happen under his administration again? Not at all. Governor of the state then was Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But now the president, you know now, he's bulabaring around. Thank you for watching.